So, you guys, Shepherd, I want to hear all about it, how you were involved. It sounds quite exciting. I'm really excited about it.
Oh, thank you so much. Chris here is one of the stars of it. I act in it as well, and I wrote and produced it with my writing and producing partner.
Nice.
Well, I think Erica actually is the star of it, and but I was excited about being involved with Shepherds because it's the story of a father-daughter team that take on big pharma, and that was attractive to me, and it's funny and dramatic, and sometimes I have my shirt off.
Ooh, nice. Spoiler alert there.
We
Yeah.
just got so much interest in this series.
Yes. we
Interest is now through the roof.
There'll be clothing optional screenings, I think in the San Fernando Valley later next week, but I'm not sure what that festival is. But it's nice to be in Dances with Films this weekend. That's right.
Cute.
It's actually called Nudists with Films, the one in San Fernando Valley.
Exactly.
And Erica, what inspired this film, this project that you wrote?
I had become interested in psychedelics. I think for anyone that's creative, that's only a matter of time. And then I started doing research into it, and simultaneously on a personal note, my partner's brother was and unfortunately still is battling an opioid addiction. So I really was interested in how we view pharmacology, how we view healthcare, how we view medicine from a legal and an illegal perspective. And the more that I found out about it, the more that I realized how much of an assault on scientific research had happened via government reform and government regulation. And here we have something that scientists had been gaining a lot of progress in their trials and their research to find an alternative to some of the pain meds that we use. And then there was just a blockade to that when Nixon passed his legislation. And then in like the mid 80s, organizations like MAPS came around and there was a resurgence into it, but mushrooms and on a federal level, marijuana is still a Schedule I drug, which makes those substances in the same that puts them in the same category as cocaine, heroin, PCP, and they're just it's apples and oranges. So my writing partner and I thought it'd be really interesting to have somebody to have the main character be living in this world of legal healthcare as a pharmaceutical researcher, and then have her eyes opened, sort of figuratively to the world that she's living in, and then have her eyes opened literally when she decides to look into mushrooms and self-experiment.
What about you, Chris? How would you describe your role?
Well, I'm a scientist and was in the show a member of the big pharma community, and then got cancer and then switched to alternative pharmacology, and I love it. I love Morgan's, my daughter, going, "You can't do this. You can't be involved in this," and then I bring her into the fold. I love the journey that Erica's character takes, and coming to that realization, and how she fights it tooth and nail, and then it becomes totally obvious. I have a personal side of this too. I lost my wife to cancer 5.5 years ago, and in my wife's journey. Through that, we used conventional medicine, but for pain relief, we used psychotropics to ease her pain in passing, and through therapy, and it helped so much. And I told the story about we would get these little like cough drops or Tootsie Rolls. I can't remember the name of them. I think they were called rollies. They were quite good. So she'd go, okay, Chris, I'm taking this, and now, okay, now you take it too. There you and we would sail off, and it was really helpful. And I think Karen stayed with us longer because of that. It's just a presumption on my part, but I was thankful for that, and I was thankful that I lived in the state of California where that's legal, and as opposed to, say, Texas, apropos of what you were saying, Erica, or some of those other states where I do 10 years in jail for having a little roll of CBD pain relief, So it's interesting to bring that awareness to the public through this project. And we do it comically as well as dramatically. So it's great.
I was just going to say, Chris, you bring up a really good point that I think sometimes, like living in the LA and California bubble, we forget how restrictive so much of the country is, right? Like, yes, it's illegal here, and marijuana there's still a lot of like legal battles that the state has, but it's not, I mean, it is so much freer, and it is so much less restrictive in California, but in so many states, it's like completely different situation.
I wanted to bring up a topic apropos of that. There in California, we pay a little bit more to live here, but everything really works here, and we invent stuff here, and we're progressive. And we have a recall going on right now, and Larry Elder, one of the candidates who is leading from the recall fight, one of the tenets of his campaign is that they should legalize opioids. That you should be able to go in to the drugstore and say, I would like a bottle of Oxycontin and a chocolate ice cream with sprinkles on it. So you could get both. And that's because pharmacology, big pharma makes a lot of money out of it, and he's in their pocket. It's just so scary.
Yeah, a world in which that is the case is heartbreaking to me. Like, just imagining that is absolutely heartbreaking.
It really is heartbreaking. And Erica, what would you say was the biggest challenge about writing this? You were talking about that a little before, but I'm curious, like, how was there anything that you had to leave out, or any more you wanted to add that you couldn't?
Oh yeah, the original script was 36 pages, and we basically shot 26, 27. So I think there was just more, there was more context to scenes. When we wrote it, we got to go into some of the story elements that we hint at in the pilot, that we landed where we needed to land. We landed where we wanted to land, but the writing process is all about editing, and the script that I've always found that the script that you just write, you just freely create based on the characters and the story, is often not the script that you shoot. So yeah, there was one that comes to mind. I think there was a more of a moment between Madison and Luke. We just hint that, that he has unrequited love for her. But we had a little bit more of that in there. And a couple of other just, contextual moments with all of these characters, but we really wanted it to move. We wanted to signpost and connect with the audience, but obviously leave them wanting more. So hopefully we did that.
I think that Ben's characterization of Luke is hilarious.
It is.
His innocence and his wisdom of the character mixed together are great. I mean, Ben's a wonderful comedian, as are you, and this show gave both of you an opportunity to fly that. That's for sure.
There was this great scene that we wrote, not to call our writing great, but just imagining Ben playing it. That's what, to me, uh, seems great. Where Ben's character, when we meet him, he is at a, intersectional feminist meeting that he's like leading. And there's, he leaves a group of ladies where he's like the only male there. And it speaks to so much to his character. But there was other moments like that we had to leave out of the pilot, but there's certainly room in the future to bring it back.
I was definitely going to ask that. I was like, if I get a chance to see this in the future, I can't wait to see more and how this develops.
Yeah, we're working on it. And thanks to Chris Mulkey, he's pitched a great idea of having an entire season in Peru.
Ooh, I like that. Do you need someone to be on location, a journalist maybe?
Yeah, there was, I think, and I'm going to check with Erica right now. We've kind of solidified the journalist that's a female. I know that, with fabulous kind of red tinted hair.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, it is you. It's you. It's you.
Yay.
And everyone's flying private.
Yeah.
Mm.
Everyone is flying private.
Nice. I can get used to this kind of life. I like it. And
It's going to be fun.
yeah, nice. And what else are you working on, or is this pretty much your baby right now?
I have a pilot it's a puppet pilot. It's all
Ooh.
puppets, but it's adult, but it's all hand and rod puppets. So working on that. And that's been a different kind of trip. That's been a fun trip as well. So I'm working on that, as well as a feature, and a couple. I just wrapped on a short as well that's in post-production.
What about you, Chris?
Well, I just came back from New York, upstate New York. I shot a thriller called Mother May I, and it's really an elegant and intelligent a thriller about a young couple who goes to the old family home where his estranged mother dies, and of course when they get there, his young wife takes on the personality of the dead mother, although she'd never met her, and starts wearing her clothes. And then I show up, and I was the lover of the late mother who drank herself to death. And so it was a great spooky and thrilling thriller. But so I get a chance to be dramatic a lot, but I also get to be funny and things like Shepherds, which I like a lot. So it's a fun. I have another dramatic role coming up in October. So so it's great to go back and forth between the two genres.
That's nice. Where in New York did you shoot that? I'm from New York originally, so.
Okay, well, there was a music festival called Woodstock, which I wasn't. Okay, and by Bethel, and it's northwest New York State, and the town that we shot in was called Callicoon.
Okay.
Which is right on the Delaware River between Pennsylvania and New York, and it's the cutest town I've ever been in. And we spent July up there, and it was completely gorgeous. It was great. So I've had a great summer, and and this has come along. So tomorrow we're gonna go to the big festival, the Dances with Films Festival, and I'm going to levitate across the carpet. There's a green carpet instead of a red carpet, so I'm going to levitate across. Oops. Yeah, there you go.
He just levitated off the internet.
I did, but I think that was Purdue. Purdue Pharmacy. They keep hacking into our interviews to shut down our alternative programming, which, but I hang a second. I'm just going to fix this. Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay, we're good for another like 3-4 hours, I guess.
Nice. That sounds exciting. I'm proud of you both. And one thing I like to ask people I interview is, I want you each to tell me a fun fact about yourself.
Erica?
I traveled to Africa on an expired passport.
How'd you manage that?
And I went through 3 international airports to do it.
Wow.
I was actually in college, and my passport had expired like a month prior. And I don't know, maybe I was drinking mescaline tea and I just decided I didn't think that passports expired, and I failed to double check that. And it wasn't until I was detained in Cape Town that we realized that my passport was expired.
No.
But yeah, no one in San Diego, Toronto, or Heathrow caught it.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That is
No,
amazing and a little scary.
and a little scary. Heathrow is like one of the most traveled airports in the world. Um, I got really lucky because we were able to get the consulate to issue me a temporary one, so I didn't have to fly, 48 hours of travel back. But so so get your passports renewed, everyone. We're going to Peru. We
Yes.
don't want anyone to get detained. Just
We're
have
going
your
to-
passports ready.
Yes. Well, mine is, I'm gonna go another way. My 2 grandkids live 2 houses away from me. They're 4 and 6 years old. And they generally about this time on the weekends, well, this is Friday. So tomorrow morning, they'll knock on the door and insist that I make pancakes and we watch a movie together. So I'm getting ready for my grandson and my granddaughter to come over and make pancakes and waffles with me.
Aw, that's awesome.
One likes the waffle iron. The 6-year-old likes the waffle iron because she likes to open it up and watch the batter being poured in, and then it goes beep 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 when it's ready. And then Henry Homer likes to stand by the stove with mittens on that are literally as big as he is, and he likes to nearly burn himself and flip on this grill. So that's I know I'm a longtime actor and Hollywood guy, but my heart lives at my house with my family.
Aw.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. What movie are you choosing for tomorrow?
I don't know. I think I like Jungle Cruise. I like Dwayne Johnson, and I think it's great. I saw it in the theaters, and I think we're going to probably put it on. But they're only good for like, they're so active. They're a couple of surfers. They both boogie board. They're like 4 and 6 years old, and I'm an ocean guy too. So it's so we'll get through the first half hour pretty much, but the first half hour is pretty happening, and then
They're good for the length of a TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'll let you know tomorrow afternoon. I'll tell you how it went.
Sounds good. And before I let you go, I want each of you to describe Shepherds in 3 words, starting with Erica.
Identity, psilocybin, and family.
Chris?
This is 4 words: breaking down the doors of perception.
Beautiful. Well,
You
thank
could just say doors of perception, and then
Doors of perception. Yeah, doors of perception.
Nice. Well, I want to thank you both so much. I truly appreciate you. Good luck with everything and have a good weekend.
We'll
Thank
see you on.
so much, Sam.
Yes.
Yes, we'll see you on the plane to Peru.
Yes.
Yes.
I cannot wait. I'll bring the champagne.
You're in.
Wonderful. Although everyone's getting their own private plane, so we'll wave from every plane will be flying at the same
And
time.
send a toast while we're at it.
Yeah,
Information.
yeah, that's
Yes.
right. In the shape of a mushroom.
Sure. I love it. Thank you guys. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
Thanks
Now-
so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.